Tonight, fuel spike fears, hip pocket misery for Perth as the Treasurer warns inflation could hit almost 5%. Out of control in the classroom, shocking video of students taunting a relief teacher in Baldivis. New details, a Brabham man flown across the border accused of murder in South Australia. Queen Mary's dawn trek in our Red Centre, giving tourists a surprise they'll never forget. And the Eagles' woes continue. West Coast struggling to fly in their season opener against the Suns.
This is 9 News Perth with Monika.
Good evening. The conflict in the Middle East is fueling a new crisis here at home. Treasurer Jim Chalmers warning inflation could reach 4.5%. Households are now shouldering the burden of rising petrol prices and potentially 2 more interest rate hikes.
2 weeks of war, now a week of worry.
If we were putting pencils down on those forecasts today, we'd have inflation peaking somewhere between the mid to high 4s.
An inflation peak of 4.8% would be a full percentage point higher than the current 3.8% CPI figure, and well outside the Reserve Bank's target range of 2 to 3%, making interest rate rises inevitable.
The government has not been saving for a rainy day, and a rainy day has arrived, and we don't really have a roof over our head.
Because of fuel and the price of fuel, we're going to continue to pay more, not just at the bowser, but at the checkout.
Higher inflation would mean higher prices. And while there's no forecast for recession, the longer the war, the larger the risks.
We're seeing the impacts on supply chains, and it's only going to become more chaotic.
The budget will be focused on the inflation challenge, the productivity challenge and global economic uncertainty, and at least 2 of those 3 have been dialed up quite considerably in the last fortnight.
That message was also for the Reserve Bank, with a rates decision on Tuesday and another due a week before the federal budget in May.
Jim Chalmers' 5th budget won't include reduced fuel excise despite higher prices now. One Nation calling for fuel rationing until the crisis ends, restricting the days motorists are able to fill up, usually based on number plates.
People are going to get angry about that, no doubt. But it's better that they're angry and say you've got a plan than what exactly has happened here.
What we need is a Mr. Fix-It. We need someone to get involved and fix this situation.
Tonight, that war and worry continues. Charles Croucher, 9 News.
Donald Trump has called on other nations, including the UK and China, to send warships to the Strait of Hormuz. Iran maintains the shipping passage is closed to enemies and continues to strike oil infrastructure in the Gulf.
Smoke pours into the air. A major crude oil export hub in the UAE hit in a suspected Iranian drone attack. Fuel a target and a hostage in this war. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz remains closed to its enemies. The US president now publicly appealing for help. Hopefully China, France, Japan, South Korea, the UK and others that are affected will send ships to the area. The countries of the world that receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage, and we will help. This should have always been a team effort, and now it will be. Iran's foreign minister reacting. US is now begging others, even China, to help it make Hormuz safe. It comes after American strikes on Iran's oil export hub, Karg Island. The US revealing it hit more than 90 military targets there, but not critical oil infrastructure. Iran says the island of Abu Musa was also struck, the regime warning it would retaliate. We asked the Muslim people of the United Arab Emirates to take action regarding the evacuation of the ports, docks and the American hideouts in the cities, this spokesperson says. With the war now entering its 3rd week, Donald Trump says Iran wants a deal, but it's not one he'd accept. Life in Lebanon harder by the day, as the IDF hits what it says are Hezbollah sites. 800,000 displaced, but there are reports tonight that Israel and Lebanon could begin peace talks in the coming days, the French president offering to host them.
And it is imperative that Israel respects the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Lebanon.
In Israel, more debris and damage from Hezbollah rockets and Iranian missiles.
While the vast majority of Israeli people support the war, there is a small but growing movement of those that are against the conflict.
We don't need it in Israel, of course not. We just suffer from it.
The state has been silencing any kind of resistance to its actions.
Today's protest silenced by air raid sirens, forcing demonstrators underground. In Tel Aviv, Mimi Becker, 9 News.
The US president has added to speculation around Iran's new supreme leader. Mimi Becker has more from Tel Aviv.
President Donald Trump has added to speculation around Iran's new supreme leader, saying, I don't even know if he's alive, although the regime's foreign minister has said there is no problem with Mujtaba Khamenei. Regardless, it hasn't stopped Iran from continuous strikes in Israel as this conflict escalates across borders. The US embassy in Baghdad has been hit by an Iranian missile, and it's telling citizens there to leave immediately, while in Oman, non-essential government workers there are being asked to flee.
There's a new twist tonight for the Iranian soccer players granted visas to stay in Australia. More from political editor Charles Croucher.
Well, 2 more players and the team official that were granted humanitarian visas have now opted to return to Iran. The trio flew out of Australia late last night. Supporters say the ongoing threats to the players and their families have loomed over the events of the last week. Their story and the efforts of our government will now likely become Iranian propaganda. It is a victory of sorts for the brutal regime with the world watching on. The Albanese government says it's done everything it could to make sure the women were provided with the chance for a safe future. Tonight, it's not clear what the future looks like for those players or for the players still here in Australia.
From tomorrow, road trains across WA will be authorised to carry an additional 10 tonnes of petrol, diesel and fertiliser. Holly Edwards-Smith, it is one solution from the WA government's new task force.
It's a tangible change, Monika, made by the Fuel Industry Operations Group. The new conditions of a 27.5 metre and 36.5 metre road trains. These are specialised heavy vehicles used to transport materials to remote areas. Now, both petrol and diesel are lighter than water, so it means more than 12,000 extra litres of fuel can be delivered directly to regional towns currently feeling the brunt of shortages across the state. The Goldfields, Southwest, Great Southern and Wheatbelt will be prioritised under a triage system. Main roads adjusting existing permits to include these new limits. The state government says escorts will be used when necessary, with road safety remaining a top priority.
We've heard that all the existing ships and future ships that are coming through are all being guaranteed. Now it's really making sure we can distribute throughout WA.
Fuel prices are set to rise again tomorrow to an average of $2.29 per litre for unleaded and $2.70 for diesel. Monika?
Holly, thank you. Now to shocking video of students tormenting a relief teacher and running rampant in a Perth classroom. Amber Wilkinson, the union says that it's an example of the abuse WA teachers deal with daily.
Yeah, Monika, they've described the behaviour in the video as disrespectful, saying it's exactly the kind of action causing teachers to leave the profession. The now deleted video was shared to TikTok and shows children at Baldivis Secondary College causing chaos. They walk on the desks. One student even puts his hands in the teacher's hair, despite her asking him to stop. At one stage, a student takes a puff of a vape and blows it at the relief teacher. Now, 5 students, including the one filming, have now been suspended, while their parents have been invited to attend a meeting with the school principal tomorrow to discuss the behaviour. Education Minister Sabina Winton has slammed the vision, saying teachers deserve respect and to feel safe in their classrooms. And Monika, support is being provided to the teacher involved.
Amber, thank you. A Brabham man is behind bars in Adelaide tonight, flown in and formally charged with murder. It comes as new details are revealed about the victim's shock death, his family today welcoming the cross-border arrest.
Back where the hunt began, a Perth man accused of murder is marched through Adelaide Airport after detectives tracked him down more than 2,000 kilometres away. Alan, did you murder Caleb? Alan Kiplimo, now an accused murderer, the 22-year-old shielding his face and staying silent.
How are you going to be pleading to these charges?
Before being formally charged, and tonight 9 News can reveal that on the night Caleb Leriano was murdered, he was expecting to meet a woman at a park not far from his Morford Vale home, but it was at that park that officers now say he was attacked by Kiplimo.
Did you lure Caleb to a park?
Caleb then tried to flee home in his car, but soon after crashed and died at the scene. His heartbroken family now making arrangements to have his body taken back to his home country.
Everyone is waiting for his body in Kenya, so ultimately we have to take the body to Kenya because the rest of the family, everyone else is in Kenya.
After spending the weekend behind bars, Kiplimo will face a magistrate here in the city tomorrow. It's then Caleb's family are hoping to find out why he was so cruelly set upon.
His father thanking major crime detectives for their quick work in making an arrest.
Appreciate the investigation agencies and just to pass my thank you for what they're doing.
Keziah Sullivan, 9 News.
A handful of Uluru bushwalkers have run into the Danish royals on their whistle-stop Australian tour. King Frederick and Queen Mary's desert sightseeing complete with a local delicacy and no shortage of flies.
Cutting a fine khaki figure on red dirt, the royal couple mastered their outback entrance, right down to the Australian wave.
Your Majesties, how are you finding the flies?
Oh, the flies. We just had some ants, some honey ants, so that was quite good as a quickie.
Bush tucker for a private waterhole walk at first light, led by traditional owners.
So when they saw the waterhole, they were in shock. They were amazed.
As were their accidental audience.
That was really like a dream come true for me, and I just said hello, and they were just like, hello. They were really friendly, really nice.
Is that a wedding over there? And they said, no, it's Mary and Frederick. I said, I love Mary.
It's obvious. She is just feeling home here, and she's feeling relaxed, and the king is too.
But the girl from Tassie left life under the radar behind long ago, flanked by a lengthy motorcade for this dawn arrival with the man she met at a Sydney pub during the 2000 Olympics.
The royals have been followed here by a significant Danish media contingent, meaning images like this will be beamed across the world.
That's also a part of their job. It's opening doors so they can connect with Australian businesses, Danish businesses, getting them to meet.
50 of the island nation's industry leaders joining the King and Queen on their first tour down under since ascending the throne. It began with a ceremonial welcome at Uluru's Cultural Centre last night.
To experience Uluru for the first time and to meet with the Anung people and hear a little bit about their spiritual and cultural connection to the land.
Mary donning an akubra, the Aussie-made tiara, before the towering territory landmark for the pair's first sunset of the official 6-day program.
It's absolutely great to be home. We've been so much looking forward to the visit, and to start the visit here in the centre of Australia is quite something.
Their next stop, the nation's capital. In Uluru, Abby Guerin, 9 News. And the royal couple has been welcomed to Government House in Canberra. The Tasmanian-born Queen looking stunning in a fluttery garden dress. Mary and Frederick were treated to a 21-gun salute. Right now, they are dining with Governor-General Samantha Mostyn at an official reception attended by dignitaries, including Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and his wife Jodie. Tributes tonight for Football Hall of Fame member Bill Dempsey, passing away at 83. Considered one of the greatest waffle players, he racked up more than 300 games at West Perth. Today remembered as more than a champion, also a man of warmth and humility.
regarded as a great on and off the field.
Dempsey coming through, backing his judgment beautifully. Hendrick supporting, back to Dempsey.
Bill Dempsey, born in the Northern Territory and part of the stolen generation, came to WA in 1960, playing 343 games for West Perth, the second longest run of games in the club's history.
Dempsey, who takes the mark on the scoreboard, wing over to Winnan.
During his time clocking up some impressive milestones, playing in 3 premiership teams for the Falcons, most significantly leading them to the 1975 win as captain, gathering numerous awards, inducted into the Australian Hall of Fame in 2022.
I was just an ordinary guy who, just wanted to be a person who, be a good person and play footy and just be me.
News of his death leaving the footy world in mourning. From his former club, Bill was without a doubt one of the greatest players to ever wear the red and blue. He played with courage, heart and unshakable commitment, also known off the field as the greatest clubman you could ever hope to meet. A man whose warmth, humility and generosity left a mark on everyone lucky enough to know him. Premier Roger Cook also paying tribute, describing Dempsey as a true great of West Australian football. Taking to the field today, West Coast in black armbands to honour Bill Dempsey and Dennis Cometti. Amber Wilkinson, 9 News.
And it's already been another rotten start to the season for the West Coast Eagles. Alicia, Molik, they were no match for the Suns.
Yeah, tough day at the office, Mon. It was another dark day for the Eagles, losing to the Suns by 59 points in their season opener. The Eagles no match for Gold Coast despite winning the second half. Debutants among West Coast best for the afternoon, including pre-season signing
2 weeks ago he was just about to finish his apprenticeship as an electrician, a semi-professional footballer in the Waffle.
Christian Petrarca was the danger man for the Suns, booting 4 goals for his new side. And we'll take a deeper dive later this hour, Mon, with all the stories.
Until then, Alicia. Stunning weather to see out the weekend, but Natalia Cooper with some hot autumn days on the way.
Yes, Mon, it'll feel more like summer this week. Today was lovely, sunnier than yesterday. 17.6 was our overnight low before we climbed to a top of 30.2 at 3 this afternoon. Around our suburbs, the airport was the hottest spot at 30.9, 30.4 degrees for the Swan Valley and Pierce, a cooler 27.6 at Hillary's. A high will form in the bight tomorrow evening and a trough is set to deepen near the west coast, so that will push temperatures up during Tuesday and Wednesday. How high will they climb? I'll have your full forecast a little later in the bulletin, Mon.
Thank you, Natalia. Still to come this Sunday, overcrowding sparks a backflip. The plan to ban smoking in WA prisons goes up in smoke. A vape ignites on a Virgin Australia plane, sparking a runway emergency. War-torn Gaza turns orange as a sandstorm slams the enclave, destroying tents and makeshift shelters. And millions in jewellery gone in just over 60 seconds. One of the wildest smash and grabs you'll ever see. The plan to ban smoking in WA jails has been shelved. Overcrowding is being blamed, with fears forcing prisoners to quit cold turkey could trigger system-wide chaos.
There has been a big increase in the prisoner population. We don't shy away from that. So we're working about increasing the capacity, but in the meantime, it's how you can manage the significant increase that's occurred over the last few years.
All 4 women's prisons in the metro area are smoke-free. An 18-year-old woman has died and her boyfriend is fighting for life after falling more than 60 metres while hiking in Queensland. The pair plunging down the cliff face as the woman's helpless sister could do nothing but watch.
Precariously perched on the side of Mount Biwa, a hiker trapped in shock after what she just witnessed. At the base of the mountain, 2 18-year-olds who slipped and fell off the sheer rock face.
2 climbers or hikers had fallen from the mountain whilst descending.
Emergency services making the mercy run to Mount Biwa just before 10:30 this morning. The woman falling nearly 60 metres.
We located, unfortunately, an 18-year-old female deceased at the scene.
The man tumbling even further, 90 metres straight down, suffering serious head trauma, now fighting for life after being airlifted to Sunshine Coast University Hospital.
The falls occurred as a result of some light rain that made the terrain extremely slippery. It's an extraordinarily sad and tragic accident today.
A number of witnesses in the area reportedly hearing the screams at the time of the fall, but why anyone was there in the first place will form another line of inquiry. Mount Biwa has been closed to the public since last Monday. Government alerts saying the closure is a precautionary measure following high rainfall events and saying the risk of large rockfall above the summit route is much higher after heavy rain. It was scheduled to reopen tomorrow morning. A Sunday hike turned fatal fall with another life hanging in the balance. Ned Barham, 9 News.
There's been an emergency response on the runway at Melbourne Airport late this afternoon. Reports of a vape igniting on board Virgin Australia flight VA328 saw the flight met by firefighters. The Boeing 737 from Brisbane landed safely with all passengers disembarking as normal. Iran has declared Ukraine a legitimate target after it sent drone defence experts to the Middle East. Volodymyr Zelensky warns Russia is trying to exploit the Iran war to cause more disruption in Europe.
2,000 kilometres away from the war in Iran, the war in Ukraine, now in its 5th year. Russia launching another missile and drone attack, killing 6 people. Targeting energy infrastructure, damaging homes and schools, leaving residents to pick up the pieces. There's no way Russia will stop, this woman says. Nothing is ever enough for them. Volodymyr Zelensky posting, Russia will try to exploit the war in the Middle East to cause even greater destruction here in Europe. The US temporarily allowing countries to buy Russian oil already at sea.
We were a little bit surprised that we heard this morning that the American government decided differently.
There has been very tight cooperation between Russia and Iran at great cost to the people of Ukraine and a great threat to peace and security in Europe.
Ukraine deploying drone teams to the Middle East to help Gulf states' defence. But the US president has said he's not interested. An Iranian official warning, by providing drone support to the Israeli regime, failed Ukraine has effectively become involved in the war and has turned its entire territory into a legitimate target for Iran. In London, Hannah Sinclair, 9 News.
Formula One races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia have officially been cancelled due to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. The move leaves a 5-week gap in the calendar following the Japanese Grand Prix at the end of March. F1 is due to return to the region for 2 races in Qatar and the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in December. A sandstorm has swept across parts of the Middle East, engulfing Gaza in a dusty orange haze. The wind gusts slamming tents and makeshift shelters. The system impacted Israel, Lebanon and Egypt, causing disruption to a region already under strain. A gang of lightning-fast thieves has ransacked a jewellery store in California. They made off with more than $2.4 million worth of gold and diamonds. The robbery unfolded last year, with a court only now releasing the CCTV. A hero dog heaped with praise. Coming up on 9 News, the proud pooch who helped police track down an armed offender. Why 2 Australian men convicted of a Bali villa shooting could still face the death penalty. The Perth property tycoon looking to buy the Irwin Barracks. And Aussie stars in the hunt for Hollywood's biggest award as Tinseltown gets ready for the Oscars. Nine News has tracked down the Mandurah pooch, making headlines for helping police take down an armed offender. DJ has a nose for crime and isn't afraid to pounce into action.
Digging up dirt on the bad guys.
Go look.
This blue-eyed beauty is Mandurah's pet detective. 3-year-old DJ sniffs out crime and even helps police take down criminals.
She's just not really an animal. She's just a beautiful human being with fur on her.
The husky hunterway had an unexpected run-in with the law while on the loose herself, joining forces with local officers in a police pursuit. A knife-wielding offender weaving through a fast food drive-through. This the moment the suspect fell for the leader of the pack.
Hey, call ya. Quick, mother.
DJ teaching him a new trick, how to roll over.
Oh, good chase, man. That was fun. Yeah, the dog's always a good idea. The dog? It's an unfair sport, man. Wait, the dog? What dog?
Janice Taylor went searching for her beloved pet.
Oh, is that the Hungry Jack? Oh, he's right there.
Eventually collecting her from the police station.
She wouldn't come to me. She was focused on going straight into the police station with the rest of the guys.
Until today, the famous Mandra dog's identity has remained a mystery, but as they say, every dog has their day, and this one is certainly being showered with the sort of reward a good dog deserves.
This story proof not all heroes wear capes, some have a fur coat.
She just does not like crime in the street.
Jenny Shon, 9 News.
Irwin Barracks could soon have a new owner, with property tycoon Nigel Satterley looking to purchase the site for development. The federal government recently putting it up for sale along with other defence bases in an effort to redirect spending.
It's a big site, it's an incredible site. It can be home for a lot of great housing, WA.
No official purchase of the land has been finalised. 2 of the 3 Australians convicted of a holiday villa murder in Bali could still face the death penalty, with Indonesian prosecutors to appeal their jail sentences. The trio will each spend more than a decade behind bars after being found guilty of gunning down Zavan Radmanovic and trying to kill Melbourne underworld figure Sanar Ghanem. The prosecution argues the sentences didn't fulfil the sense of justice in society. A newborn baby has been caught up in an alleged drink driver's rampage in a Sydney car park. A woman accused of smashing into multiple cars while allegedly more than 5 times the legal limit.
A father's attempt to soothe his newborn is about to get a lot harder. A simple reverse out of the Turramurra car space literally spirals out of control, smashing into 3 cars at once, ploughing into a 4th, which has little Florence in the back seat.
As I unclipped her, I could see a car, like with my peripherals, just accelerating at me. She got pushed out, ejected out of her car seat because it was unbuckled, and yeah, it was just very traumatising to see her like that.
And it's not over, hitting a 5th car, scraping and scratching free before the first car cops it again.
If it was a few seconds earlier, I would have been holding her at the time, getting her out of the car, and it would have been crushed.
The woman behind the wheel threw what looks like a bottle into the bush just before she left the trail of destruction. Police arresting the 62-year-old in a nearby toilet yesterday afternoon.
Just going to do a proper blood test now.
She did a second test here at Hornsby Police Station, and her blood alcohol level was allegedly more than 5 times the legal limit. She's been charged with high-range drink driving and negligent driving.
Initial reaction, anger, but then just turned to sympathy.
Florence, who turns 5 weeks old tomorrow, unhurt and unbothered.
Lucky that it wasn't worse, because really it could have been horrible.
Helene Lambetsos, 9 News.
5 Australians could be walking away with an Academy Award tomorrow. Jacob Elordi and Rose Byrne are nominated in the ceremony's top categories, but they face stiff competition.
Months of press tours, preening and posing, and it's all come down to this, the ultimate prize, an Oscar. A strong contender for Best Supporting Actor is the boy from Brizzy, Jacob Elordi.
I want to know who I am.
His turn as Frankenstein's creature wowing critics, but the favourite in his category is Sean Penn in One Battle After Another.
And you would not believe...
Sydney's Rose Byrne won the Golden Globe for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. The odds, though, have Jessie Buckley in the box seat for the Best Actress Oscar for her tear-jerking performance in Hamnet. Other Aussies in contention, musician Nick Cave, designer Fiona Crombie and visual artist Guido Walter.
Backhand, backhand, forehand.
Timothée Chalamet's ping-pong prowess had him a shoe-in for Best Actor, but he's lost momentum thanks to a rocky press tour.
And I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or, things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore.
You can't really bag on opera and ballet when, honey, you played a ping pong player.
Leonardo DiCaprio's One Battle After Another is considered the overwhelming favourite for the #1 prize, Best Picture. An FBI alert for the potential of an Iran-related threat in California has made this one of the most secure Academy Awards in history. There'll be rooftop snipers and 1,000 security personnel. The show goes on, and this year the carpet has an autumnal theme, and tonight it's good to go.
Even if they don't win a statue, the top nominees, don't worry, they're not walking away empty-handed. They'll be receiving an Oscars gift bag worth up to $500,000 Aussie dollars. And guess what is inside? Luxury holidays, a customisable prenup agreement, and a voucher for liposuction.
So it's crazy because everybody in Hollywood is on Ozempic. Yes. So I don't know what they would have to suck out.
In Hollywood, Reed Butler, 9 News.
That is quite the gift bag. Well, the Oscars may be tomorrow, but today the Golden Raspberry Awards have been presented, honouring the worst movies in the last year. Aussie actress Rebel Wilson won the Worst Actress, Razzie, for her performance in Bride Hard. But it was American sci-fi film War of the Worlds that dominated, taking home Worst Picture, Actor, Director and Screenplay. Outraged footy fans are calling on the AFL to be more transparent about ticketing after thousands of seats were left empty during blockbuster Round 1 games at the MCG. The league declared 2 games as fully ticketed, forcing members to pay extra for a reserved seat.
We've got cost of living pressures at the moment, and a family of 4 that all buy memberships want to go to a game and they have to cough up another $15 or $20 per person. It makes it difficult.
Just 74,000 fans attended on Thursday and 71,000 on Friday, well down from the same matches last season. Still to come on 9 News, everything you need to know ahead of the RBA's critical interest rate decision this week. Effie Zahos breaks down whether to fix your home loan. And Game On Girls, the new WA program to boost community sport. First, Alicia, Molik with sport, and the Eagles do have work to do.
They sure do, Mon. But it's not all doom despite a belting at the hands of the Suns. Young talent time. The emerging Eagles show some round 1 fight. Green goes bang. Cam's century lifts WA to the front against New South Wales, as another Green achieves her greatest feat yet, snapping a 12-year drought. The Eagles have shown they again have plenty of work to do in 2026, thrashed by 59 points in their season opener against the Suns. A second-half fight-back saving the Eagles some face as debutant Milan Murdoch impressed with 2 majors.
A dark day to open West Coast's 2026 campaign.
Why not go long for another goal?
But some light, the Eagles' young stars showing promise.
And snaps his second goal, Murdoch. Read all about it.
Entering as overwhelming underdogs, West Coast boasting 4 debutants, plus another 2 playing their first games for the club. The match playing to script, Gold Coast stars shining early.
Which was news to King, doesn't stop Petrarca, didn't stop the Suns.
Milan Murdoch kicking the Eagles' only first-term major a fortnight after joining from the Waffle.
And this will be well celebrated.
The celebrations short-lived. The Suns' prized recruit wreaking havoc, the hosts taking a 38-point lead into the first break.
He's got 3 already, and we're not even at quarter time.
10 months after he last ran out in blue and gold, Jake Waterman with a special milestone.
Because he can kick them from long range, and that is his 150th goal in AFL footy.
Gold Coast asserting their midfield dominance. Coach Andrew McWalter left powerless.
That says it all. And it's only halfway through the second quarter.
As the game got ugly.
That was just pure magic.
The Suns up by 62 at the half. Kicking his 4th, Ben King a handful for first game at Tyler Young, but a sight for sore eyes. Elliot Yeo slotting his first goal in 582 days.
Took off and launched launches a 50-metre bomb. We've missed you, Elliot Yeo.
Then gifted his second.
That could be 50.
Should be.
The visitors stemming the flow.
Yeah, he's got something, this guy.
Winning the third quarter, 5 goals to Gold Coast's 3.
Waterman.
Hold on.
Onto the boot in a flash.
Waterman starting to warm into the contest.
He's now kicked 3 and he could easily have kicked even more than that.
The step up to the AFL taking its toll on the newest Eagle.
Cramping.
Yeah.
The visitors refusing to lie down, causing some opposition angst, but the Suns too strong for Andrew McWalter's youthful side. 59 points up at the final siren. Sean Lindsay, 9 News.
WA product Jacob van Rooyen has begun 2026 in fine fashion, kicking 6 goals in Melbourne's victory over St Kilda. New coach Stephen King starting his Demons tenure with a 13-point win over Ross Lyon's men.
It was always going to be tense. The last time these sides met, the game decided after the siren.
He's not going to wait, arcs around, pops it through for the first.
Jacob van Rooyen's pre-season highly talked about, and with 5 goals in the first half alone, it's clear to see why.
Standing inside the centre square, he kicks it long, goes for home, shielded by Gawn. It's a fabulous five for Van Rooyen.
A price to pay for former Eagle Liam Ryan's Mark of the Year contender.
His jam climbs the ladder.
Mateus Philippou's day ending with a quad injury. In a day of boilovers, the Kangaroos claiming an impressive 46-point win over Port Adelaide.
Where were you the day, North fans, that you turned the corner?
Freshly appointed skipper Nick Larkey leading with 4 majors as the Kangaroos beat the Power for the first time in 7 years.
We're 1 game in. Pleasing that a lot of work that we've done to try to fix ourselves up in that space has come off today, but we've got to do it for 23 weeks.
A career first for Magpies veteran Scott Pendlebury. The 427-gamer hit with his maiden ban, handed a 1-match suspension for rough conduct on St Josh Worrell. And a massive 44-point win over the reigning premiers soured for the Swans with injuries to a star duo. Errol Goulden suffering a shoulder injury in the last quarter.
Hopefully it is quick. If it is longer than normal, well, then so be it as well.
Isaac Heaney leaving the ground with hamstring tightness. Erin Harwood, 9 News.
A statement from Cameron Green in WA's final game of the Sheffield Shield season against New South Wales. The 26-year-old piling on an unbeaten 130 runs as the visitors finished day 2 with a lead of 70 with 3 wickets in hand.
There's a century for Cameron Green, his 9th in first-class cricket for Western Australia, and it's been a mighty knock here in Sydney.
Green joined by Corey Rocacholi at the crease heading into the penultimate day. WA is 7 for 302. West Aussie golfer Hannah Green has snapped a 12-year drought, becoming the first local since Curry Webb in 2014 to win the Women's Australian Open. The 29-year-old shooting a 2-under par final round of 70 to finish 11 under for the tournament.
I was probably a little bit tougher on this week than I was in Singapore, just because I probably wanted it even more so. And, you know, having the crowd watch us, having our names and faces everywhere, it kind of makes it a bit more than what a usual tournament is. So, yeah, really special.
Green pockets just over $250,000 for the win. Not much time to celebrate, though. Heading to Queensland for the WPGA starting Thursday. The Matildas are calling on a big Optus Stadium crowd to get them over the line in their Asia Cup semi-final. The hosts needing to overcome China to progress, coached by former Australian mentor Ante Milicic.
We know they'll be organised. You know, they're a great team. They're the reigning champions as well of this tournament. So it's a big game for us, but we're ready.
And China remains undefeated in this tournament. The Wildcats season is sadly over, but coach John Riley already has an eye to next season, believing his roster has the right mix of youth and experience to achieve the ultimate success. Perth falling to the Kings by 14 points in their second semi-finals match, failing to progress past the top 4 for a 3rd straight year.
You get antsy and you get worried when so many people quit when they're right there. So we're not going to quit, we're going to keep working, and good things will happen.
Skipper and 540-game veteran Jesse Wagstaff refusing to make a call on retirement. The West Coast Fever are off to a winning start to the year, plagued by injuries and without star shooter Janelle Fowler-Nemard for the season. Fever's new look goal circle firing them to a 3-goal win over Donnell Wallam's Sunshine Coast Lightning.
What a combination unfolding here between the two newbies at the West Coast Fever for season 26 in Glasgow and Aiken George.
Superstar Sasha Glasgow scoring 5 super shots in her first game for the Fever since 2023. Well, the Fever certainly on fire. Mon had the privilege of watching them live today, and the grass keeps getting greener for Hannah.
They were shining the light this weekend, otherwise it was a disappointing weekend for our local teams. Thank you very much, Alicia. Up next, Steffi Zahos breaks down fixed versus variable rates in this week's Money Minute. Plus, the show must go on. A country music star left bleeding, hit by a phone thrown from the crowd. And we are in for some very hot days this week, Natalia.
Yes, Mon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-30s on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, when will it cool down? Your full forecast is coming up.
Welcome back. Recapping today's top news headlines, the conflict in the Middle East is fueling a new crisis here at home, sparking fears of a rate hike, with Treasurer Jim Chalmers warning inflation could reach 4.5%. 5 Baldiva Secondary College students have been suspended after video emerged of them tormenting a relief teacher. Their parents invited to attend a meeting with the school principal tomorrow. And Queen Mary continues her Australian tour, flying from the Red Centre to a state dinner at Government House in Canberra. Country music star Riley Green has been hit in the head by a phone thrown from the audience during his concert in Melbourne last night. But the show must go on, and the American singer continued with blood streaming down his face from a cut near his ear. The fan was immediately ejected. Sporting clubs across WA can now apply for grants of up to $5,000 to help keep teenage girls involved in sport. The Game On Girls program is aimed at helping clubs create more welcoming and supportive environments among females aged 13 to 17.
Women have much better life outcomes, both from a safety, economic, mobility and health outcomes if they play sport, particularly in their teenage years.
$6 million will be rolled out over the next 4 years. With the big 4 banks all tipping a rate hike on Tuesday, the pressure on household budgets is set to intensify. Money editor Effie Zahos looks at whether you should lock in a fixed rate or stay variable.
Right now, the lowest one-year fixed rate is 5.24%, just slightly higher than the lowest variable rate of 5.19%. On a $600,000 loan, if rates don't move, variable wins. You'd save $300 in interest over 12 months. But here's the twist. If the RBA hikes on Tuesday, fixing puts you ahead around $1,000. 2 hikes, one on Tuesday and the other in May, as the big 4 are all forecasting, fixing wins by more than $2,000. But there is a catch. That low fixed rate is only available if borrowing less than 60% of your property's value. If you don't have as much equity, the cheapest fixed rate is higher. Already 26 lenders have increased 466 fixed rates in the past fortnight. If you find a sharp fixed rate, some lenders offer a rate lock facility, up to 90 days protection against any rate hikes by the time you settle. But fees apply, so factor that in. Bottom line, the window to lock in may have reopened for borrowers with equity, but if banks are right about more rate hikes, that window might quickly slam shut.
Natalia is standing by with your weather for the week ahead. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It was a beautiful Sunday in Perth. I hope you enjoyed those mostly sunny skies. 18 was our overnight low before we climbed to a top of 30 at 3:20 this afternoon, and right now it is about 26 degrees. To the charts, and a tropical low in the Kimberley is feeding in lots of moisture, so there have been some very heavy falls. One spot northwest of Halls Creek recording 130 millimetres in the 24 hours to 9. There have also been showers through the interior, Goldfields, Southern Coast and Euclid due to an upper level trough, and a trough will deepen near the west Coast over the coming days, which means it's going to heat up here in Perth. Across the nation, partly cloudy and 28 in Brisbane. Sydney mostly sunny and 28, and up to 15 millimetres of rain could fall in Melbourne. Back in our north, a partly cloudy day in Broome, 33, sunny and 37 in Port Hedland, and Exmouth looking lovely, sunny and 32 degrees. Further south, fine and 29 in Bunbury, just a possible shower for Albany and 21, 25 the top for both Esperance and Kalgoorlie. On the waters, east to southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, turning southerly 15 to 20 in the morning, then tending southeasterly 10 to 15 knots in the late evening. Seas to a metre and swell to 1.5. A mostly sunny day for Joondalup and 29 degrees, and as you can see, 29 is a pretty popular number tomorrow, but 32 the top for Kalamunda. So the official forecast in Perth, tomorrow will be mostly sunny, 31 our expected top after we dip to 18 tonight. Looking ahead, Tuesday, sunny and hot at 35, warming up to 36 degrees on Wednesday, then the trough will move inland, so 33 the top on Thursday, cloud clearing and 31 on Friday, 32 for Saturday, and Sunday will be sunny again and 30 the max. Nights warm, ranging from 18 to 23. A very summery week ahead of us, Mon.
It indeed is. Thanks, Natalia, and thank you for your company. Married at First Sight is next. Enjoy your evening here on 9.